The cloud catcher, in a small, sun-baked village surrounded by parched fields and cracked earth, lived a girl named Mira. The land had not seen rain in years, and the once lush meadows were now barren. Crops failed, rivers dried up, and the villagers grew weary of waiting for the skies to open. But Mira was different. While others lamented the drought, Mira dreamed of solutions. She spent her days sketching inventions in the dust behind her family's tiny house, imagining machines that could bring water back to their thirsty village. One day, as she lay under a cloudless sky, Mira spotted a lone puff of white drifting far above. A spark ignited in her mind. If the clouds won't come to us, she thought, maybe I can bring them down myself. Mira rushed to her workshop, a small shed filled with scraps of metal, old bicycle wheels, and glass jars she'd collected from the village. She pulled out her notebook and began sketching her idea, a machine that could catch clouds and draw rain from them. "It'll be called the Cloud Catcher," she declared to her cat, Patches, who purred approvingly. For weeks, Mira worked tirelessly. She scavenged gears and pulleys from broken tools, fashioned a large net from old fishing lines, and built a frame from wooden planks. Her machine grew taller and taller, a strange but beautiful contraption with arms that reached for the sky. The villagers watched her with curiosity and doubt. "What's that strange thing you're building, Mira?" one asked. "A cloud catcher," Mira replied, her face smudged with grease, but glowing with excitement. "It'll bring rain to the village." The villager chuckled. "You're chasing dreams, child. You can't catch clouds." Mira's heart sank for a moment, but she shook her head. "Maybe I can't yet," she whispered, "but I will." At last, the day came to test her invention. Mira wheeled the cloud catcher to the highest hill overlooking the village. The machine stood tall against the endless blue sky, its net glinting in the sunlight. "Please work," Mira whispered as she cranked the handle. The cloud catcher's arms began to turn, spinning the net higher and higher until it reached the thin wisps of clouds overhead. Mira held her breath as the net brushed against one of the clouds, capturing tiny droplets of moisture. "It's working," she cried as the droplets flowed into a container below. But just as Mira's excitement peaked, a gust of wind knocked the machine off balance. The net tore, and the droplets spilled to the ground. Mira fell to her knees, her heart heavy with failure. The villagers, who had gathered to watch, shook their heads. "We told her it wouldn't work," they murmured as they walked away. Mira stayed on the hill long after the sun set, staring at her broken machine. Tears welled in her eyes, but then she felt a soft nudge on her arm. Patches had followed her, and his gentle purr reminded her of something her father used to say, "Every great idea starts with failure. Keep trying and you'll succeed." Wiping her tears, Mira stood. "This isn't the end," she said firmly. "I'll make it better." Over the next few weeks, Mira rebuilt the cloud catcher. She studied the wind, reinforced the frame, and wove a stronger net. The villagers watched from afar, their doubt mingled with curiosity. "Why doesn't she give up?" they whispered. But Mira's determination burned brighter than the desert sun. She knew that if she could just bring rain, she could change their world. One evening, dark clouds gathered on the horizon, a rare sight in the drought-stricken land. Mira rushed to the hilltop with her newly improved cloud catcher. The villagers followed, hopeful despite themselves. Mira cranked the handle, and the machine's arms spun faster than ever. The net soared into the sky, catching the edges of the heavy clouds. Mira adjusted the controls, and to everyone's amazement, droplets of water began to drip into the container. The crowd gasped as the first drops spilled to the ground, turning the dry soil to mud. Mira's heart raced as the droplets grew into a steady trickle, then a stream. Soon, rain poured down from the captured clouds, drenching the land in life-giving water. The villagers cheered, dancing in the rain as Mira laughed with joy. Her dream had become a reality. In the weeks that followed, the fields turned green, the riverbeds filled, and the village buzzed with new life. The cloud catcher became a symbol of hope, and Mira a hero. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, the village gathered to thank her. "You saved us, Mira," said the elder, placing a hand on her shoulder. Mira smiled. I didn't do it alone. The clouds, the wind, and even the failures helped me succeed. But most of all, I never gave up. From that day on, Mira's story was told to children in the village, inspiring them to dream big and work hard. The cloud catcher stood on the hill as a reminder that persistence and innovation could overcome even the greatest challenges. And whenever Mira looked up at the sky, she saw not just clouds, but endless possibilities.